So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys 3 different effects that you guys can be using in your sport edits or any other edits that you guys want to be using these effects for. Now, this first effect that I'm going to be showing you guys how to do is this like outline glow, kind of like fiery effect. This one isn't too hard to do, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys how to do this. So you want to have your composition here with your footage. So with your footage, you just want to highlight it with the rotor brush right here, and then just double click this layer, and then you'll have another like preview open up. And what we want to do is just rotor brush out our subject here. And also we want to be in full. I forgot to put that on full here. So yeah, make sure the resolution's at full, and yeah, just start going away on this rotor brush. This one's going to be a little difficult because of all the stuff in the background. So the rotor brush is going to most likely mess up a lot, especially with this hair right here. Kind of blends in with the background. So this may take a while to rotor brush, but I mean, you guys have probably rotor brushed before and you guys know how it is. So yeah, just rotor brush out your subject. And once you have finished your first frame, you just want to hit the arrow key and just go frame by frame, just seeing if anything messes up here. All right, so I went through each frame and I fixed everything up. So now we can go ahead and hit freeze here, and it's just going to freeze all the frames with the rotor brushes on them. All right, so we can close this layer, go back here to our main composition, and we just want to go ahead and duplicate this layer. Hit Control D on your keyboard, and on this bottom layer, just delete the rotor brush. So now we just have the rotor brush on the top and then just the background layer. And now you just want to apply this one effect called Ecto. It is from this plugin called Red Giant Universe. So if you don't have this, then you're going to want to go ahead and download this Red Giant Universe. But yeah, if you do have it, then just go up here and search up Ecto, and it should be uni.ecto. I think that's how you say it. But yeah, just drag down to your layer here with the rotor brush, and as you can see, it already just applies this like glow around it. Now you could do this with the Saber plugin, and the Saber plugin is free from Video Copilot, but there are a few other steps that you have to do with the Saber plugin, and honestly the Ecto just looks a lot better in my opinion. So I'm going to be using the Ecto in this, but I do have other tutorials on my YouTube where I do use the Saber plugin, so you guys could go check those out. But I'm going to be using this, and obviously we can mess with the colors here. We can make it like red, and then for the outer color we can make it like a purple kind of color. So yeah, just mess with the colors here, kind of go for what you want. And then inside the mask tab right here, I like to enable the mask, and then you can like mess with the width here. I like to leave that just default, but the height you can mess with, and I'm going to go with a height of 250. You can mess with the angle, whatever you want for that. But then what you want to do is with the position values here, the Y position, you want to start it where it's like barely showing on his head here, or you can do the opposite where it starts lower. But I just like how it kind of like fades down slowly. So we're going to start the position keyframe at the start of our timeline here, go to the end, move this position all the way down so it like kind of warps down his body here. Now when we play this back, you can see it like animates around him. So yeah, that's basically it for this first effect. So let's go ahead and start on the second effect. All right, so the second effect is kind of like this clone glitch effect. I'm not totally sure like what to name it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and show you guys exactly how to create this. So once again, we do need a rotor brush out our subject. Just want to make sure this is on full once again. And yeah, it's gonna be hard to mask out like the helmet right here. So we're gonna try to do a decent job for this. All right, so I just finished rotor brushing it, so I'm going to go ahead and freeze it. All right, so that finished freezing. Once again, let's just close that layer. So we're back in this main comp. Duplicate the layer, Control D, delete the rotor brush on the bottom. And now we want to duplicate this rotor brush layer 2 times. So 1, 2. So now these 2 layers right here, I'm just going to change the color so you guys can see what I'm talking about. These 2 layers right here are the ones I'm going to be adding the effects to. But before we add the effects, we actually want to go ahead and change the position values here so they like pop out. So it's like a clone kind of. So we just want to keyframe at the start here and then move a few frames forward. You can kind of mess with this. I'm not totally sure how many frames I want to go, but let's just do like 15. And then this X value right here, you want to move this to the left or either right, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to have it move to the left here. And then we want to obviously like smooth out the frames here, or the animation, I mean. So let's highlight these keyframes, hit F9 so they easy ease, and then move this graph around like this so it pops out fast like that, and then smoothly kind of ends on that position. And also, if you don't have this graph, make sure you have the speed graph enabled, or either the auto select graph type. That will bring up this kind of graph here. So yeah, we have that little pop-in animation. So I'm just gonna select these keyframes and then paste them on top of our other clip here. And as you can see, it didn't do anything, but what we want to do is actually on this bottom keyframe here, is move this X value so we can actually see our other clip here, because it was hiding behind this one. So just bring it out so we can see it. So now when we play that back, you get all three of them pop out like that. And if you want to offset this one right here, the last like little pop out clone, you can like highlight both these keyframes, just drag them out like 2 frames. So it kind of adds a bit of a delay to that last one. So now that we have the animations out of the way, we can go ahead and add the effects. So the first effect that I'm going to add is glow, and I'm just going to be using the default glow, and just go ahead and copy these glow settings right here. So I have 50% threshold, 50% glow radius. Make sure the glow colors are on A and B colors. So that means these color A and B colors are actually being used. So make these colors whatever you want, but make sure the color B is around the same color as your color A. I just used blue for this first one. You can go ahead and copy that, paste it onto your bottom clip here, and all you have to do is change the colors here. So I'm going to make this red. Same with the bottom, color B, make it like a red color. So now we have some glow, and that's already looking super cool. I'm gonna go ahead and add one last effect to this, which is glitch, VR digital glitch right here. Let's go ahead and add that to this top layer. And for this digital glitch, I'm just gonna change this master amplitude down to like 30, and let's play that back, see how it looks. So we have that glitch here. If you want, you can obviously raise it up. Just depends on your liking and what you want the style of the effect to look like, but I'm going to keep it at 30. So now we have like this glitch going on there, and we can once again just copy that, Control C on that effect, paste it onto our bottom clip here. So now we have this glow and glitch effect going on here, and these plugins are all built into After Effects, so super easy and convenient. So yeah, that's the finished result for this effect, and we're gonna go ahead and move on to the third one. All right, so here's what the third effect looks like. I'm not really sure what to call this, but yeah, I'm just gonna show you guys how to do this effect because I don't really have a name for it, to be honest, but it's just something that I kind of created when I was messing around with different effects, and honestly think it looks pretty cool. So once again, this is the last time we're gonna have to roto brush, but I mean, roto brushing is just something that I always have to do with like all my effects, honestly. So yeah, I think you guys get the hang of it by now. So I'm just gonna kind of go through this pretty fast. Alright, so I just finished roto brushing that, so I'm gonna go ahead and freeze it. If my After Effects doesn't freeze, oh my no. Alright, so we're done freezing that, so we can go ahead and close that out. And also, if you didn't notice, I already duplicated this clip, so on the bottom it has no roto brush, and on the top we have the roto brush layer. So if you didn't do that at the start, just, you know, duplicate the layers. But yeah, we have this roto brush on the top and then our background, and we want to duplicate this roto brush one time right there. And on this middle layer, we're going to go ahead and apply offset right here. Go to the very start of your timeline, keyframe the shift center to just at the default values here, and then go to the very end, and this is where you just want to mess with this offset and just like kind of just move it a lot, because the more you like have this value right here, the faster the animation is going to be. Alright, so that's looking pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and keep that. I'm happy with how that looks. But as you can see, there's no motion blur. Even when you do turn on the motion blur here, there's no motion blur with this effect. So we gotta go ahead and fix that. We're gonna add directional motion blur, or I guess it's just called directional blur. Let's apply that here. Change the direction here to 90 and change the blur length here to like 30. Boom. So now we have some motion blur. Looks a lot better. Now the faster your like subject is moving, the more you want to up this blur length. So like we could do like 40 here, because our thing is moving pretty fast there. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the offset and like blur length thing. So you could keep that as just like an effect. But I like to add one more thing for the background. For this background, we're gonna add turbulent displace, bring that onto our clip, put the size down to like 25, and bring our amount down to 0. And at the very start of our clip here, keyframe the amount, and let's just go to the very end, bring this up to 300. So now when we play that back, it slowly like scales up with that warp in the background. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and add some glow, default glow here, and we're gonna change this glow threshold to 50 and the glow radius to 160. And then once again, make the original colors to A and B colors. And this is where we can change all the colors here. So we can mess with the blue here, change this one. So yeah, that's pretty much the finished effect for this one. So it's not too difficult, but it gives off a pretty cool effect, and I kind of like how it looks. And yeah, I tried to do these 3 effects without using any plugins, but obviously the first effect you do need a plugin, but the rest of them you should be good. and just use the default plugins that are built into After Effects. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you guys out and kind of like sparked your creativity for your edits or whatever. And if these effects did help you guys out, make sure to drop a like and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below of what your favorite effect was from this video. And yeah, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.